Welcome to our new programme, a monthly report devoted entirely to environmental issues which affect all of us, whether it be the security and supply of our energy sources, the safety of our agriculture, or the migration of thousands of refugees from their homes due to climate change. During the programme, we will be bringing you the EPP's point of view on the recent news, debates and votes in the European Parliament, both from Strasbourg and Brussels. In just a few weeks' time, the world faces crucial decisions at the UN Conference on Climate Change in Copenhagen, where a global agreement is expected to be made. The EPP has been preparing for this, and we caught up with one of its group members, Corien Wortmann-Kool, following a debate on the EU's preparations for the conference.
The European Union is ready. We have our binding targets for 2020 and 2050. And we're also prepared to really contribute to financing climate change, because that is very important, because we have to include the poorest of the world in a climate change agreement. Solidarity with the poorest, that's a very important topic for the EPP.
Mrs. Wortmann-Kool stressed, however, that the EPP believes that further progress should not be at the expense of increased taxation of the citizens.
In Europe, we need better incentives in order to encourage private investments in clean technology. That's better. Positive incentives, that's better than another European taxation or levy. That we don't like in this time of economic crisis. So jobs and companies, they can really flourish from positive incentives in clean technology.
During the debate, the EPP Group's spokesperson Karl-Heinz Florenz emphasized the need for Europe to make good use of the possibilities available.
If we apply the correct standards, we will be able to develop efficiently. Europe could then sell efficient machinery, for example to China, where energy is produced in a very inefficient way. I not only see the danger of climate change, but also the possibility to use highly modern techniques to improve the economy. We should use this as an opportunity.
The EU has expressed its strong commitment to help the developing countries fight against climate change, but expects the other global economic players to contribute their share too. The EU will submit their final, detailed proposals during the conference in December. While the world is grappling with the dangers of climate change, here in Europe we are faced with many other problems too. Last winter, millions of consumers were left without gas due to a dispute over payments between Russia, the supplier, and Ukraine, the transit country. This has led many to argue that we need to diversify our energy sources. EPP member Andras Jurk organised a conference to highlight the need for a common European energy policy, a harmonised strategy by the member states.
We need a transparent relationship that can ensure security of supply. We also need competition, of course. The European energy market could be the biggest energy market on global scale with 5 million customers, and that would mean a huge bargaining position for the EU as such. And we need diversification, of course. We need new routes, new pipelines and new sources, and we of course need solidarity between the member states. Not only ad hoc solidarity, but we need mechanisms, legal mechanisms, which could ensure this solidarity, and we need also new infrastructure networks between the member states that could result, that could safeguard the energy supply for our citizens.
But how much cooperation exists in Europe with regard to the security and sustainability of its energy? Is there a dividing line? Anita Orban, director of Constellation Energy Institute, explains more.
Our institute strongly believes that there is a dividing line. If you look at the share of renewable in the energy mix of the new countries and the old countries, you find a huge gap when you are talking about energy sustainability and security. The purpose of the conference to find the common interest of Central Eastern European countries in order to facilitate these countries' energy sustainability and security and close the gap with the old Europe.
The conference concluded that a common energy policy was necessary to secure the EU's future supply and to develop a mutually balanced relationship with Russia to avoid complete dependency. Now, when considering alternative energy sources, we are hearing more and more about nuclear energy. Indeed, there are already 150 nuclear power reactors in the EU, producing 1/3 of all of Europe's electricity. power reactors like this one in Doel near Antwerp in Belgium. Following a recent debate in the European Parliament, we spoke to Mr. André Stritter, who is the chairman of the European Nuclear Safety Regulators Group, to find out more about this type of energy and the possible plans to develop it further.
As you probably know, in Finland they are already constructing new nuclear power plant. In France they are constructing one. In Great Britain they are increasingly preparing themselves for the construction of a number of them. So it depends on the decision of each country.
And the question on everybody's lips is, how safe is it?
Of course we consider it to be safe, otherwise we wouldn't sleep well. As nuclear regulators, nuclear power plants are operating as safe as they can in European Union, and I am pretty sure that it will stay like that.
What is NSREG doing to ensure this?
We are meeting in Brussels all 27 regulators from Europe, and we are exchanging our views, sharing ideas, in a way competing with each other, helping each other. So this is a kind of a very high platform where these issues are discussed, and as we call it, we work on continuous improvement. We are trying to be better and better every day, and crucial for that is exchange of ideas.
Belgium was one of the countries that was considering phasing out nuclear power. What do you think of its decision to not only reverse this plan, but to use the existing power plants for another 10 years? Is this safe?
Decision is of course on Belgian people and Belgian government, so everybody has to respect it. We are not here to judge it. But personally I think that is certainly a wise decision, because nuclear power is today competitive, safe. It would be a waste to throw them away and start with something new if they are as they can continue operating like they are for a number of years to come.
Is it a national responsibility? Is there a centralized European strategy?
No, well, the responsibility for nuclear safety is on national level. Now, since this July, we have a new directive, European directive, which is setting the main principles which were in fact already set by some international conventions before, but now they became the law in European Union.
That's all for this report, but please join us again next time for more on the latest environmental issues. It will all be covered here on EPP TV. In the meantime, why not check out our websites for detailed information on the EPP's policies. Thank you for watching.